I kind of have a crush on one of the team members, so I also need to look kind of presentable, but what the hell? Hi, so I'm editing right now, and I just want to tell you, the footage that you're viewing, it's not beautiful footage. And you know why? Because, you know, doing internships, unpaid internships, it's not a beautiful thing. And it's not always this glamorous, amazing thing, you know? And I just wanted to show you that, so keep on watching. The view of me is gonna get better, but if you don't want to be faced with reality, I get that, because neither do I, my friend. So, I am so tired. I just got up and my alarm, like, rung 4 times or something because I said it. I wanted it to ring 4 times, basically, because I knew that I was going to be tired. Because yesterday I wanted to spend a little bit of time with my hobbies, basically doing something in my free time, and that was a mistake because now I have not a lot of sleep at all. I'm running very low on sleep and I need sleep right now. Like, right now. I wish I could just sleep right now, but I can't. I have to go to the hospital and I'm not even paid for it. If I was paid maybe 2 euros or something, I wouldn't care. I really would not care. Like, just give me 1 euro, you know, an hour, and I could say, oh my god, I went to the hospital at 5 a.m. and completely destroyed my mental health and tiredness. No, not tiredness. My sleep schedule to earn 12 euros, and then I would be happy, you know? Would I? Maybe, because it's like I actually did it to earn money, not because I'm forced to. Well, nobody's forcing me, I'm forcing myself because it's part of medical school, and I want to be a doctor, but it's very hard and my apartment is a mess right now. Look at that. It's just, you won't believe it, but I actually cleaned up my apartment right now because I got home really tired, so I couldn't do anything else except clean. So I cleaned up now. Proof of that is this whole place that is very clean. See how tired I am? This is kind of a catastrophe, you know? This kind of really is a catastrophe. And I need to pick out an outfit, and I need to send back this one package that I got. And every time I show up at the, you know, at the psychiatry where I work, I basically show up late. Never have I ever been so early that they haven't even started before I arrived. And actually I need to get going, like, right now, but I'm just so tired. I'm just so incredibly tired. Oh my god, this is just not leading anywhere. I need to stop vlogging right now, and maybe I'll update you this afternoon. I'll do like a YouTube afternoon, but I'm so tired and I don't know genuinely if I will have the energy to do that. It's crazy, you know? Also, by the way, oh my god, my alarm. I kind of have a crush on one of the team members, so I also need to look kind of presentable, but I don't have the energy to look presentable, and I don't really have the time for that. So this is a catastrophe, and they could potentially be my future husband. So I kind of really need to make an effort, and I kind of just don't care because, you know, am I just gonna go there without glasses and without, you know, anything? No, I'm not gonna do that. You know, I need my contact lenses and I need an outfit. I can't go in my pajamas after all. But yeah, like the first time I went there was this girl telling me, she was a patient, she was like, cover up, or this man that is also a patient here is gonna tell you, I'm effing every woman that I see. And so I was like to her, thank you, and I covered up, you know? So can't dress too sexy. Not that I wanted to. Oh my god. So you might be wondering, how is your internship? What's it like to be at the psychiatry as a, you know, intern? It's so tiring. It's really exhausting. You just work there for 8 hours, and I'm not even used to my new sleeping schedule yet, you know? And I don't even know if I want to keep working morning shifts, because I think that the afternoon / evening shifts are just as bad, honestly. It is a lot. And on my first day, I genuinely thought I would have lots of free time to, update you guys, to talk to you, to just share some, interesting stories, but actually not a lot of energy left. So, but it's actually pretty nice. And I feel as though I have found the field that I really am passionate about, because I think it's so interesting when people with mental health disorders come in, and especially, or not especially, just on this station, there's a lot of schizophrenic people, so they hear voices, and there's this one guy, for instance, which was so interesting. I genuinely thought, oh yeah, this guy's just a busy dude, he's always on the phone with somebody, he's holding like a phone to his ear at all times, just sitting around. There's these chairs on the floor, and on each side of the floor there's the patient's rooms, and they always share rooms. And so my impression was, oh, okay, this guy, maybe he's working somewhere, he's just busy chatting or just talking to his friends. That's great for him. But then I realized, oh, you know why the guy is here? He thinks he's talking to people that in reality aren't talking to him. So he kept mentioning certain, famous people. He said, yeah, I just spoke to the Pope, we just had a little chat, and then this politician blocked my number. I don't know why. And then I really, thought about the fact that, oh, actually this guy, no, he's just completely in a different world. And it might be funny, And sometimes I do laugh a little, because the situations that occur, they're just pretty absurd sometimes, especially because I am in a state of mind where I can't really, I've never experienced schizophrenia, so I wouldn't really know what it's like, and you don't really expect that, because I, for instance, have never experienced this, and so I find it very absurd if, for instance, this one guy says, are there wolves on the station? I'm really afraid of them. They just walk around here, and I'm actually really afraid of the wolves here. And then I had to tell him, oh, actually, no, there is no wolves on the station. And he was like, are you sure? And the thing is, for him, it really is not funny. And I don't encourage you guys to take these stories and laugh at them and just talk, tell them to other people as entertainment. But, I just think it's really interesting, and you need to have empathy for these people. And so usually it is pretty nice that I don't need to do tasks such as making the beds and so on, or distributing food and stuff like that. But I get to talk to the patients more. And there's also this other intern, he's a medical student as well, and sometimes we work together, and it's actually really fun. I've gotten to know a lot of patients, and yes, for sure, and in the beginning, I'm still in the first week of my internship, and everything is still new to me, and sometimes I don't really know how to react to certain situations. But I feel as though I've gotten better at it, and also just talking to patients. Sometimes patients are just rude in your face. For instance, one person told me, yeah, you look like you have an eating disorder. And she just kept, talking. And there's actually a medical term for this. It's called logorrhea, which basically, I don't know what it is in English, by the way. This is just the German word for it, but it's basically diarrhea. You know how diarrhea, it means, you know what diarrhea means, right? And so logo, right, is kind of like that. It's just with your, with your language, you just always talk constantly. And this particular woman, she's just insulting a lot of people and calling them, yeah, you're anorexic and so on. And the thing is, she was right about that, but obviously I couldn't tell her. So yeah, it's very, very interesting, and I really have a lot of compassion, I have to say, for the patients there, because I know their stories, I know what they have experienced, and it's sometimes, yeah, it is, they've experienced really traumatic things, and sometimes people, well, to a point where the people aren't even capable of communicating anymore, which obviously doesn't make things better. It makes them so much worse. And this is, this is actually, it is hard to see sometimes. It is hard to see people, harming themselves and, having wounds and knowing all of these backstories. But I just always want to leave a positive impact on people. And this one time we actually went to, there's this donation closet of donations where people basically that were homeless before that, or that just don't have that many clothes at the psychiatry, they get to change into other clothes. And I chose outfits with these two women, and we actually had a really good laugh, and it was really nice. And yeah, I'm just really grateful to have this experience, and I couldn't imagine being on any other station. Like, shut up with all the somatic diseases, or who cares about cardiology if there's psychiatry, if there's that. So I'm just incredibly grateful for that, and also the team is pretty nice. So yeah, that's that. And sometimes patients are a little bit, they're just very impacted by their illness, and I'm just happy that I'm no longer the one that's at the psychiatry, but that I'm like a person who now has the impression, oh, this is what I'm working towards, and so that's making me really happy. But at the same time, it's really hard, and it's sometimes I wish I could just sleep and not wake up at 5 a.m. Yeah, also, by the way, on my first day I arrived late because, my alarm clock wasn't ringing, and it was the scariest thing ever. And I was so hectic. I was really afraid that everybody was gonna judge me and they were gonna throw me out. But I just made up a lie. I was like, yeah, my bike, didn't work all of a sudden, whatever. But in reality, I had overslept. But it was literally because my alarm clocks didn't ring. I turned them on. Like, why does Apple have alarm clocks that don't ring? I don't get it. Like, I don't think my phone was on Do Not Disturb. It was just that the alarm might have been very silent or inaudible, but don't make an alarm inaudible, I want to have an alarm to wake up, dude. And also there's this patient who's sleeping all the time. I've never really spoken to her, and sometimes people just stay in their rooms and I've never seen them before. And then all of a sudden I see them and I think to myself, I ask them, how long have you been there? And they're like, yeah, a week. And I'm like, no, because I've never seen you. And I've only been here for maybe 3 days, So that's that.